This was once a house filled with laughter, a place where sunlight streamed through lace curtains and the smell of fresh bread greeted you at the door. Every Sunday, 3 generations gathered at the wooden table that creaked with every smile. A cherry tree outside, planted by a grandfather who survived World War II, bloomed every May. Children ran barefoot in the yard, chasing chickens, dreaming big. But today, there is no table, no tree, no house. Just silence, just ashes, just wind blowing through what used to be a home. And that's where this story begins. Her name was Halyna, a school teacher from a small village near Izium, born and raised in the same house her father built with his own hands. That house had cracks in the walls, a leaking roof, and windows that whistled in the winter wind. But it was hers. It was home. Halyna taught generations of kids how to write their first letters. She planted flowers along the fence. Her husband painted the gate blue every spring. They had plans, maybe to fix the attic, maybe to build a summer kitchen. But they never imagined war would come again. Not in the 21st century. Not to them. Not to that peaceful little village. In February, everything changed. The sirens were distant at first, then closer. One night they heard a whistle in the sky, then a deafening explosion. The earth shook, windows shattered. Halyna and her husband grabbed what they could, some clothes, documents, a small bag, and ran. The cherry tree was burning, the neighbor's house collapsed, and their own home, the place where her children were born, where her mother once baked Easter bread in a clay oven, crumbled into flames. There was no time to cry, only to run. Through mud, through darkness, through terror. With her heart pounding like a drum, and memories falling like bricks behind her. They ended up in Dnipro, then in a gym-turned-refugee shelter. She had nothing, not even a comb, not even a photograph of her children when they were young. But she still had her hands, and her will. So she taught kids in the shelter. She cooked for old people who had lost everything too. She began writing poems at night, on scraps of paper, on napkins. Her husband found work fixing windows. Slowly, life returned in tiny pieces. Not the same life, but a new one. And every evening, they lit a candle. Not for warmth, but for memory. For the house that no longer stood. For the friends who didn't survive. For the life that ended, and the one they were building from the dust. 1 year later, they moved into a small flat. It had 2 rooms and a view of a construction site, but she planted flowers on the balcony. She painted the wall with sunflowers. And this spring, she planted a new cherry tree in a pot. It bloomed. Just one flower, but to her, it was a symbol. Not of what she lost, but of what she refused to lose. Hope. She didn't rebuild the house. She knew it was gone. But she rebuilt herself. She gave lessons again. Her husband built birdhouses. They sent a package of seeds to their granddaughter in Lviv. They even laughed sometimes. And every time she looked at the blooming branch, she whispered, "You can take my house, but not my roots." This is just one story, one house, one woman, one tree. But there are thousands more like hers. Across Ukraine, homes are gone, but hearts remain. Stories like Halyna's are the backbone of a nation that refuses to be broken. Ukraine is not just a place on a map. It's a collection of memories, traditions, songs, gardens, and dreams. If you've listened this far, thank you. Now do one more thing. Share this story so that the world remembers the house that no longer exists and the people who still stand. If this story moved you, even just a little, don't let it disappear. Share it. Talk about it. Let the world know that behind every destroyed building in Ukraine, there's a heartbeat, a memory, a life that mattered. And if you want to hear more stories like this, real stories from real people, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and help us keep these voices alive. One share can carry a voice across oceans. Be that voice.